Good morning. My name is Desiree Ferrer, and I am your analyst. All right. So yesterday we closed around 397.2. 397.2. This is our resistance here at 399.3. We did close below the resistance area. So we have not broken this 399 area. This area could still potentially break, but overall, we are super strong, guys. We are strong. You can see here, this candle was created yesterday. When I see these types of candles, I kind of see people. For me, this is a lot of tug of war. This is the buyers and sellers fighting for control. Yesterday, buyers did have more control than sellers, but we still closed below this resistance area. So the fact that we closed below this resistance area, it still could be rejected. So just be careful of this 399 level here. Let's take a look at some of the lower time frames. Okay, so again, we have to be careful because we're overbought. Even though we have a lot of strength, we are still overbought. So say we get here, we open up below 399. We get a little move, we burst open, right? And then all of a sudden we come back down, we close below 399 because we're rejecting. You just have to be careful for that, especially because we are so overbought. Even though we have a lot of strength, we're really overbought here at a very strong resistance. So here we have a breakout, we come down, we pull back, and here's another breakout. So at some point, we generally do come down and pull back. So that's what I see here. A lot of strength, but definitely a lot of caution needs to be held as well. Okay. This is the 1 hour here. Yeah, see, we're overbought here at 95, but we're kind of creating a higher low. So you have a high here, higher low here, and it's coming in lower here. And you can see it's the same with the candlesticks. So we hit a high of 398.88, and then we hit a high of 398.19. Now we're close to 397.2. So we're creating higher lows here as well. So we could possibly be pulling back. I'd say a healthy pullback, 393.2 is healthy. I would not be surprised if we come down lower to this 200 MA, but we do need to prepare for it. And we could also bust through. I mean, we are very, very strong right now. Look at this candle here. Today is Friday, so we'll be paying attention to how this candle closes, but this is a pretty candle. I mean, we have lower low, higher low, pointing up, getting some strength. Strength is coming right now with equities, but we do have to prepare for these lower time frames to come down and create a pattern so that we could continue to keep going. And that's a healthy stock. A healthy stock needs to pull back when it gets overexhausted like this so that it could create patterns and continue to keep going. And since 400 is a very tough resistance area, we do need to anticipate the rejection here. All right, let's take a look at SQQQ. All right, so SQQQ, you could see here, yesterday we closed below the 200 MA. So this you could see here the buyers and sellers trying to fight for control here. So this is you could see here they kind of made it all the way to the top, but the sellers pushed it back down. They ended up closing below this 200 MA and below prior to they close. So yeah, this is showing a lot of weakness here. I mean, if this was a candle that kind of it was a reversal candle right here, then I could say, yeah, we were probably trying to turn. But it's showing so much weakness. SPY right now is showing so much strength. That's why bursting through that 399, I would not be surprised, but because it is such a strong resistance area, because our lower time frames are overbought, you have to anticipate it. You really do. You can't just ignore the fact that that's a strong resistance. But to be honest, we're very strong. Okay, very strong, heavy bullish momentum this morning in terms of the patterns and where we're currently at. All right. Okay, so we're pointing down. we're looking at SQQQ. SQQQ is inverse of QQQ. So it generally goes in the opposite direction of equities because QQQ will follow SPY most times. All right, so this is the candle that we closed at yesterday here. The closing was at 46.6. We're pointing down below 50, definitely signaling weakness here. This is 46.9, so we're opening up a little higher. Very oversold, opposite of SPY right now. Like this is the resistance. So I would not be surprised if it took it back to this wall here because this is now resistance. Once we fell below the flag, the bottom of the flag now was support before, but now it's resistance. So for it to come back up to resistance, to create patterns to come up so they can continue to go down is what we want to see. It's still below the 200 MA. So with this acting as resistance, temporary momentum going forward in order to create maybe a bearish flag here and consolidate between this area would be likely. That's what I would like to see here. 1 hour also very oversold here. So, you know, coming up to bring this to the top of this resistance would be very probable. That would be nice to see. If that's the case, then SPY would be pulling back at the 399. So you can actually look at SQQQ and SPY throughout the day to see if they're moving in opposite directions, because that will help you also with direction throughout the day. But right now, I do see just a little bit of volume in SQQQ because we do need to come up because we're becoming oversold. We have resistance here, which is still below the 200 MA. This is the area where we fell. We fell below support. So even though temporary momentum is necessary for SQQQ, overall, we're very bearish. We're very, very bearish. I mean, you can even see that on the daily at how we closed below the 200 MA. Day before yesterday, and then yesterday we closed lower, and you can see the sellers, you know, came in, and you see the same thing in SPY. You know, the tug of war yesterday, and then how we close with the buyers having a little bit more control, and that's exactly what happened with SQQQ, except in the opposite direction. So again, we're below this resistance area. This is could possibly, I mean, even if we consolidate between this zone here, we would be creating a bullish flag. So it would be healthy. It would be healthy. So the only advice I have is just to be careful because it's Friday. And very volatile on Fridays. It's the day that a lot of people, a lot of day traders lose a lot of money. So be careful if you are trading today options. Just make sure that you're purchasing, you know, next week and not today's expiration, because if you are in the wrong direction, it's definitely almost going to be impossible to recover. Yeah, but other than that, hopefully this helps and you guys have a great morning.